All right, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of. Excuse me, my voice is a little messed up, but welcome to another episode of Honest Hour. My guest tonight is a hip hop artist. I see some photography, maybe some modeling of some sort down the road if he chose to. Just dropped a new EP named Killer Volume One. Please welcome to the show, Kellz Turner. How you doing tonight, my brother?
Man, I'm blessed to be here. Another day above ground is always good. Always good.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. We have to try and keep positive energy. That's what I'm about is positive energy and really just keeping energy up with keeping everyone else's energy up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Same.
we're all we got. You know what I'm saying? We're all we got. And so many people are negative and want to keep one another down. It's like, come on, let's elevate, guys. Let's be better than we were yesterday. Let's keep pushing the envelope.
Yeah, people ain't gonna really understand it until like they in the bad spot. So, but we right here with it. We right
Yeah,
here with it.
absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna get chopped right into it. Where are you originally from, my man?
I'm from New Haven, Connecticut. Born and raised. Um, no place like it. Wouldn't trade it for the world.
Oh, okay, okay. Is that where you reside at now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, okay. So you still in the area. What was it like growing up there in Connecticut, New Haven, Connecticut?
I mean, just like any other urban area, like we're in the tri-state area, so but I like to consider us kind of like the black sheep of the tri-state area. Where you know what I'm saying, like we that state that everybody knows, but it's not a lot that's acknowledged from the outside looking in, but there's definitely a lot that's going on. Um,
Abs-
so everybody's pretty much like lasered in on what they do. Pretty much focused, kind of like in New York in a way, but something somewhat different. Like we have our own way of doing things. But Connecticut, it's a very like just pace, like a very like everybody's on the go. Everybody's doing what they got to do. The pizza is top notch. I don't care what nobody say.
it's funny that you say that because I was just about to say I got a buddy named Eric, and I'm from New York,
Mhm.
so I'm not in the city. I'm like the Bronx is about an hour from where I am now.
Yeah, yeah.
And one day he posts this picture of this pizza in Connecticut. And
Hmm.
he's like, I don't care what no one says. This pizza is better than New York pizza. And I'm like, coming from a New Yorker, it's kind of hard to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And he's a New Yorker. So it's like, is it though? And you're kind of like, so I'm just like, I gotta try it. I gotta
Yeah,
try
man. I
Sometimes I gotta drive there for work. Maybe if I get a Connecticut route one day, I'll stop at one on the way back and check it out.
I put it to you like this, man. I'm not really cocky about a lot of things, but our pizza, yeah, like I don't really argue about a lot of things, but I'll argue somebody down about our pizza for sure, for sure.
We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
yo, listen. Anytime you want to come out here, man, hit me. I'll come with you. Yeah,
to make it happen, bro.
yeah,
Make
I'll
it.
come with you.
So now, what growing up, were you an only child? Did you live with both parents in the house, or you know?
Nah, well, my parents they separated when I was young. I had to be like a toddler. Um, but I spent about like a good adequate time with both.
Okay.
Mainly living with my mom. I have an older sister. She got me by like 3 years, and then I have a younger brother, 7 years apart. So my sisters on my father's side, my I lived with my brother. My me and my brother, we got two different fathers. Me and my sister, we got two different mothers. So if we all lived in the same house, I technically would be the middle child.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's kind of like there was different dynamics, being kind of like being with both sides of the family. My mother and my father, they were always cool, even though they separated. Um, if there was any bad blood, I didn't see it face to face, but yeah, mainly like growing up with my mom. I would see my dad here and there. I would see my sister here and there, and definitely, growing up with my little brother. So it was literally like switch of hats. Like I'll go from being the baby with my father and my sister to being my mother's oldest one, my mother and my brother. So
Okay. So yeah, you kind of were strangely the middle child, but still the oldest and the youngest at the same time.
yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
because my mom has that. She's the oldest and the youngest at the same time. It's like weird. It's just
Yeah,
one of those awkward things, right?
exactly.
So, what were some of like your interests growing up? And that's just at any point. Um, you know,
Um, my interest growing up, I mean wrestling, video games. I love like Mortal Kombat is my favorite. Um, yeah, like I love Mortal Kombat. That franchise is like I might get a tattoo. That's how deep it is for
oh wow,
me. Yeah, yeah, I love Mortal Kombat, man. I
Mortal
hope.
Kombat is the jump off. That's for sure.
Listen, listen. I'm not that good at it now, but popping some of the old ones, yeah. I enjoyed like spending time with my friends. Like I was very much like a boy's boy, like I just playing like wrestling, video games, going outside, being mountain bikes, shit, looking at girls, like stuff like that. Like, I love, I value my childhood a lot, man, I value my childhood a lot. Those are like innocent like times, that you never really know that you're never gonna get again until you grow up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wrestling. That's my still my pet peeve. I can't stop. Can't
Yeah,
stop.
no, I still keep up. I still keep up.
Like last week, a couple weeks ago, I had an artist on here, Lee Double O, and
Hmm.
he said wrestling. It caught me off guard, and then I kind of went into fan mode. But I have these plaques over here. I'm using my computer, so I can't really show them. But I like when Stone Cold's last match a couple years ago, I got a plaque for that.
Man.
Triple H it when he left the boots in the ring. I got that plaque. The Undertaker plaque. I didn't have the money for it, and there was only 250 of them because they all retired the same year.
Yeah. I think that was WrestleMania like what 2 years ago.
Yeah, not
Yeah, I saw that one. I actually watched that one with my cousin live. Like we actually sat down and watched that live. So I know exactly which one you're talking
I was 30, was it 39, 39 or 38. One or the
about.
other.
Yeah, I think what just passed was 40. So
This
it probably was 38. I could be wrong, but it definitely was 38, 39 for sure.
yeah, I think it's 38. 38 look sounds right. But
Hmm.
yeah, I got the one too, a plaque of Bianca Belair when she won the
Okay.
title when her and Sasha Banks were the first two black women. I was like, I gotta have that.
Yeah, that's monumental.
You know, I got title bell, I got a plethora of DVDs, pop Funkos. It's a sick obsession. I don't care how old I get, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's a healthy obsession though. It's a
Yes,
healthy obsession.
yes. So, what was your first experience with hip hop that you can recall?
Oh man. My first experience with hip hop that I can recall, I had to be like 3 years old. Um, I distinctly remember this. Like I don't remember it day by day, but I do remember the detail because I'm somebody that like I correlate memories with what I hear.
Okay.
So I distinctly remember hearing DMX, Stop Being Greedy.
My favorite
Um,
song by him.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's a banger right there. And around that time, Mortal Kombat was around heavy. So the piano, like being young, my brain is still developing, but I still remember certain sounds. The
Right.
piano "Stop Being Greedy" sound like something from the Mortal Kombat soundtrack.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat trilogy to be exact. So kind of always hearing that familiarity kind of stuck with me to the point where DMX kind of just became like it was at one point my father could attest to this if he was here. It was a point in my life, probably like 3 or 4 years old. All I wanted to hear was DMX, and then it grew into Redman and Method Man. Um, so like, and I just remember being at my father's crib, and he had all these CDs. He had like a bunch of CDs that I couldn't touch, but I would touch them anyway. What I'm saying? Like I'll just go in there. Yeah, I'll just go in there, invade in the space anyway because I want to hear that music. And yeah, man, I was young. Like I was just young, and it ain't like to me. It was certain sounds that I just naturally gravitated towards.
It wasn't even just so much the music, it was the sounds. So you've always had from a young age an ear for actual music, not even just so much like hip hop or R&B or whatever genre you want to say, but you've had an ear for sounds.
Yeah, like definitely sound effects, sounds. It was just like if it sounded like if it sounded good, if it's not, even if like you said, if it's not hip hop, like I'm willing to like really dive in and see, just learn more.
Absolutely. So who are some of your inspirations on your road to starting to make music?
Ah man, I kind of I could answer this from like a fan perspective and then like an actual writer perspective. So
Oh, yeah.
from yeah, from a fan perspective, definitely like I said, DMX, Redman, Method Man, Nas. Nas is definitely one of my favorites. Um, damn, who I mean the whole Rough Riders. And then if we talking about like actually writing, like actually paying attention to like how people structure their bars, um, around the time when I did start writing, it was like Kendrick Cole. Um, I love Big Crit. Um,
Underrated.
Super
Very.
underrated. Guru from Gangstar, God rest his soul. Um, Royce the 5'9". I can name a grocery list of people that um, I can name a grocery list of people, but those are just some that I could think off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure more will
Absolutely.
come up later, but um, yeah, I kind of look at things from like a fan perspective in the like a actual writer's perspective.
Okay, I can appreciate that because like for me, like even still, like I don't rap. I used to write poetry. People like you should rap. Too much thinking, too much precision. Like to rap, I give anyone who raps credit. I can repeat a song, but just to think and rap, nah, I can't. I can't do that. But like for me, I have like a top 10, right, of my favorite rappers. My personal list is different from my actual list, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So like on my personal list, Tupac is number one. But to me, the greatest rapper is Nas.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that was fresh based on this 2020 run that he's done.
Yeah,
So there's just different perspectives.
absolutely.
So with that said, I play a game on this show
Oh
called
man.
honest picks, and
Okay.
everyone hates it. So I continue to play it because everyone hates it. So
All
being
right.
you are a hip hop artist, I have three categories for you:
Okay.
male hip hop, female hip hop, and hip hop groups. Where would you like to start?
Damn, none of them shit. All right, let's start with female hip hop.
Okay, okay.
Ladies first. Ladies first. Ladies
There's
first.
there's five of those. So, Lil Kim or Eve? See, that's the goal of the game. Just
Oh man, Little Kim or Eve.
he's
Um,
like, we starting out there.
yeah, man. Am I allowed to be biased?
Yeah, this is personal opinion.
Okay.
There's no, I'm not saying match discographies, lyrics, none of that. This is just who you like personally.
Okay.
One over
I love them both, but if I have to pick one, I'm gonna pick Eve because I was a Rough Rider when I was since I was 3 years old.
okay, okay. I can mess with that analogy.
Hmm.
Missy Elliott or MC Light.
Just based on just from who I draw inspiration from, I'm gonna go Missy.
Okay, okay. Lady of Rage or Queen Latifah.
Mm, Queen.
Okay, okay.
Queen.
Foxy Brown or Remy Ma.
Ah, hmm. Foxy Brown and Remy Ma. See, that's an interesting pairing. I go both with that one.
Okay,
I go
okay.
both.
You
Yeah,
can't say both or neither if you're not sure.
yeah. I'll go both.
Lauren Hill or Nicki Minaj.
I got to be fair on this one. Um, no, not to Nikki, but I'll go Lauren.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
it's not wrong. It's not wrong with that. I think Lauren Hill did a lot in her time
Hmm.
between the Fuji albums and her one solo album, but you
Yeah.
can't deny what Nicki has done since 2010.
Can't.
Here,
Yeah. It's yeah, and that's like yeah, definitely. Like I will never. I will never. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't always a fan, but can't deny it at all.
yeah,
You know.
I mean,
She can rap though.
absolutely.
She can rap.
All right. You want to go to male or the groups?
All right, we're gonna go to the groups next because that male one, that's scary like that.
And that's the one that has the most. I think there's like 15 of them.
Okay.
All right. Groups EPMD or Cypress Hill?
EPMD.
Brand Nubian or the Ghetto Boys?
Ah, um, I had a phase with Brand Nubian, so I'm gonna go with Brand Nubian.
Okay. Okay. I like them too. Slum Village or the Far Side?
Ah man, Far Side.
Yo, I heard that song running on this show, New York Undercover. That's how I became a fan of a lot of the music I listened to today was that show
Yeah,
because the soundtrack to that show was elite.
yeah, man. Far Side is super dope.
Their first album is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Mm,
Their first album is the second level, is next level.
yeah.
G Unit or the Locks?
LOX baby. LOX, yo.
Black Black Moon or Black Star?
Mm. Black Moon or Black Star. Um, I love them both, but um, I'm gonna give the slight edge to Black Star.
Okay,
Most Def is one of my favorite rappers.
okay. Oh, that's good to know because he's in the male category, paired up with someone. He's like, oh,
Set myself up for that one.
all right. These five are the toughies.
All right, cool. Let's get it.
Eric B and Rakim or Pete Rock and CL Smooth?
Mm, I'm gonna go with Eric B and Rakim.
Okay. The Roots or De La Soul?
Wow. Um, that's a tricky one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Plug One gets busy. And rest in peace to True Boy. Um, wow. I probably lean towards Daylight for that one.
They're my third favorite group of all time.
Yeah, I was listening to Daylight earlier today, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Daylight.
Okay, okay. Run DMC or Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Both.
He was just like, he didn't even put no thought, just both.
Yeah, both. Like both.
NWA or Wu Tang Clan?
Um, Wu Tang.
And the $1 million question:
Mm-hmm.
Outcast or Tribe Called Quest?
Mm. Um, yeah, I should have seen this one coming. I should have seen this one coming. Um, I'm gonna go with Outkast. I think there's more. I love Tribe. I genuinely do. Um, I think there's more like lyrical dexterity with Outkast
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
They're my favorite for me. Well, yeah, actually, it's Outcast, EPMD, the Tribe, and then De La Soul.
Yeah,
Those for me. That's my personal because they
yeah.
you just can't.
And I feel like Big Boy is the most disrespected hip hop artist of all time, man.
Oh yeah, because people listen. I ain't gonna hold you. I love me some three stacks,
No,
but
he goes, yeah, Three Stacks goes crazy.
but Big Boy don't get no love.
Big Boy don't get no love. And it's like it kills me because it's like, yo, we ain't gonna talk about that, but
Yeah,
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 you know.
I know.
Yeah, you know.
All right, that dreaded male category.
Yeah, man. I wish I had some alcohol for this one.
He's like, damn. Chris ain't telling me there was a game on this show.
Nah,
Like
they didn't tell me this, but I mean, hey, man, I got liquor in here. I probably do.
Tupac or DMX?
Oh, you gonna start with that one? Oh man. All right, so this one I'm gonna break down. Right?
Go
This
for it.
this this one I have to break down. So because a lot of people and I understand where the comparisons coming from.
Yes.
I was born 95. I understand the comparisons. I understand the history of Pac. I understand DM. You know, I mean, obviously, I seen DMX more growing up, and
Right.
definitely understand the the influence of Tupac. And I'm not knocking Tupac whatsoever. I love Tupac just as much as the next person.
Absolutely.
For me, and the reason why I'm gonna go X is because of this one slight edge. It was that vulnerability. You know, like that's the
Mhm.
reason why like Nas and X are like my top two. And X took you like emotionally places that I feel like most men, especially like us black men, are kind of like scared to go to. You know,
Yes.
we're kind of like afraid of opening up and really expressing the things that kind of like bother us or the things that like haunted us since we was kids, the things that traumatized us that had an effect, negative effect of us growing up. X wasn't afraid to show that, you know.
No.
Not to say Tupac was, and like I said, I don't take nothing away from Tupac, but X kind of just made me personally, he made like as far as like growing up, especially being in his music, he made me approach it a different way. So I'm gonna have to go X on that one.
Okay, no, that's a fair thing, because here's my thing. For me, DMX is number three. For me, it's personally, it's Pac, Nas, X.
Mm.
And like for me, X had songs that only X could do, right? So like you never like, okay, you take slipping.
Yeah,
No one could do that. No one else could do that. Now, when he passed away, I don't know if you're familiar with there's a rapper who's out of Newburgh. He just relocated out west. His name's Oswald Benjamin. He's
He was on,
phenomenal.
he was on the Locks album, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
he's on the
Now
Locks.
he's a Newburgh native, which is where I'm from. So
Okay.
I know it personally. And when DMX died, um, he did a freestyle over slipping, and I was like, that's testy waters.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
he did it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He did it. That's the thing. But in retrospect, a song like that, a song like Who We Be, a song like hell, even Rough Riders Anthem. Like you don't hear artists freestyle over X beats, right? I think part of it is you can't do what X does. Not only that, it might be a respect thing, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I know.
You,
I know. I tried it, and I probably only wrote over like probably two DMX beats in my life. Um,
yeah,
yeah, it's it's yeah, that vulnerability. Like even his like the Omen series, like the Damien series,
Amy, yeah.
that like just being that open about like life wasn't perfect. Like I got approached by the devil at one point. Like I
Mhm.
thought life was sweet. He offered me this, he offered me that, he offered me this. Like that vulnerability, man, that jump just it captivated me like so young. So
I'm gonna have to find it. But Oswin tells a story about DMX. It's weird how things come full circle. I can't remember all the details. It's a little lengthy. I'm gonna
mhm.
find it and send it to you, and you'll hear it, and you'll be like, "Damn, like that's wild, like
Yeah,
wild."
please send it, please, man, please. I,
Yeah,
I would love to see it.
I'll find it, and yeah, I'll find it, and I'll send it to you for sure. So next one, Jay Z or Busta Rhymes?
Ooh, interesting. Jay Z or Busta Rhymes? Hmm. And I could say both.
You can say both if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna say both on that one. I'm gonna say both. I think like Busta Rhymes, just as far as like having that range, um,
Yes,
he has like he has range that like is so unfuckwittable. Um, Jay, if we're talking strictly off rhyme, um, Jay has a way of Jay's flex with his lyricism is totally different. Um, he flexes like nobody else, and it's like you can tell like it's just not made up. Like he actually did it. Like I remember in Dead Presidents too, he said, "Without rap, I was crazy straight. Partner, I'm still spending money from '88, and that was '96. So you still spending money from 8 years ago in '96. Like that's like so. Yeah, I'm gonna go both on that one.
absolutely. Yeah, Jay, he says things that are clever that go over your head. You know,
Way yeah, way too clever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like he's one of those where it's like even if you don't like him, you can't dismiss his skill.
right? I mean, there's arguments that he's the greatest ever, and
Yeah, and
I don't
like
think anyone can take that from him.
yeah, and like if Jay was unanimously the greatest rapper of all time, I'll be comfortable with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nas or Rakim?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. This ain't fair, man. This ain't fair, man. This ain't fair. Not
Trust
fair.
me, I've been yelled at in the comments before. I've
Uh,
had I had one of my friends on. I asked him Biggie or Tupac. His head was gonna explode. I'm like, damn, that's generic. So you got some ungeneric ones here.
what? Yeah, I know. And this only the third one. Jeez. Nas or Rakim? Oh man, yo, that's crazy.
He's like, this one's way out of pocket.
Way out of pocket. Like, and I'm scared to see what's next, but I'm gonna keep playing. I'm gonna keep playing. Damn. All right. I gotta go. I gotta go both on that one
I
too.
knew it.
I do. I gotta go both on that one
I
too.
knew it. That one's just too stressful. He took a sip. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm
man. And this water. The
done.
next one I might grab alcohol. So for real, like that's crazy.
KRS-One or Big Daddy Kane?
Mm. I love them both, but I'm gonna pick one this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick one this time. You know what? I'm gonna go KRS. I'm gonna go KRS. I like KRS.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? But I respect the fact that you know what. But I like you know what I respect about both of them is to this day they still willing to get busy.
Absolutely.
They still willing to get busy. So I respect that
Absolutely.
about both of them for sure.
Common or Talib Kweli?
Common,
Okay. Okay. Lupe Fiasco or Most Def?
most def.
I don't think it mattered. Didn't matter who it was
Yeah.
there.
And nah, Lupe, cool. I fucks with Lupe. He dope. But you know, most def that first album, man, Black on Both Sides. Like I,
One of in my top 10 albums ever.
yeah, that's it's one of my favorite albums for sure.
Method Man or Ghostface?
Mm, you bringing it to the woo now. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Ghostface because I feel like Ghostface had out of everybody in the Wu Tang, I feel like Ghostface had the better artist development.
I agree.
I think he had the best artist development for sure, for sure. Once he hit that Pretty Tony bag,
Super Caliente. Whew.
yeah, man, yeah. So he. I think in some ways he rebranded the Wu Tang.
And then he said on his last album at the end, he goes, Super Caliente 2's coming. So don't call it that in Bomb, bro. Don't call it that in Bomb. You
Yes,
gotta
sir.
if you're gonna call it that, you gotta come with it.
Sure enough.
J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar?
Wow. Ha. Man. You want me? All right. Sheesh. J. Cole or Kendrick. Um, because you asked me today, I'm gonna pick Kendrick.
Okay. Okay.
If you ask me in 2 days, might be J. Cole.
It
If
just
you ask me,
depends on the day.
it depends on the day. Like, cause they both like they both up there for me. So, but today I'm gonna pick Kendrick.
Okay, okay. Big Sean or Drake?
Mm, another good one. Um, I'm gonna go with Drake on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Drake.
Andre 3000 or Black Thought?
Wow. I'm gonna go with Black Dog.
Ice Cube or Snoop?
Mm. Snoop.
Big Pun or Big L?
Damn. Damn. I was praying nobody would ever ask me this question. I was praying nobody ever asked me this question.
Like
That,
you would find the one.
yeah, like I was praying that nobody in life ever asked me that one.
I know you can't see the comments. Chris is over here on Instagram. He said the fuck.
That was crazy. Like that's nuts, yo. Big L, a big pun. It's like, let's break that down before I answer it because it's like everybody know L didn't get the fair chance that he got.
Hell
Um,
no.
and it's only because of like the unfortunate circumstances of his untimely death, you know. But L just lyrically was just you know what I mean? Like he was just something else. Like and we Geminis, like he a Gemini like me. So
I'm a Gemini too, my brother.
oh word. So you get it.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you get it. So you know what I mean? I think L was just like L was just he was just something else. He was gifted. He was gifted. He was made to rap. Pun, in a sense, the same, but he was like a little bit more. Like Pun was very much the son of Cool G rap. I feel like there's a lot of people that fall under that Cool G rap kind of like
Right.
style, but Pun is that. Um, so just off that, I love L, but I gotta go with Pun.
Okay, fair enough. It's hard, man.
That's the one I hope nobody ever asks me again. Seriously, like just one and done. I don't never want to be asked that question again, yo.
Jada or Fab?
Jada, but salute to Fab though. He's a legend.
Eminem or Lil Wayne?
Mm. Eminem or Lil Wayne. Nice one. Nice one. Nice one. Eminem or Lil Wayne, huh? Marshall Mathers or Dwayne Carter? I feel like I gotta go both on that one.
Okay.
Um,
Now that's the end of the hip hop. I have three bonus ones that make people miserable.
okay.
Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles?
Nice.
One
Steve.
one one guest called it the battle of the blinds. I said, oh, that's wrong. It's true, but it's wrong.
Battle of the Blinds is crazy. Danny Brown said if he can make two people fight, he'll make them fight. Throw them in the cage and find each other. But no, no, no. All right, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles. I'll go Ray Charles on this one.
Okay,
I'll go
okay.
Ray Charles on this one.
Whitney or Aretha?
Oh, Whitney,
And I,
Whitney.
I know you know what the last one is.
No, I don't.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
Prince, man.
I had one guy, he guessed that first, and I said no. And then that's always the last one. Always. Michael Jackson or Prince.
You fucked up for that one.
He's like, this whole game out
Yeah,
of
this whole game is out of pocket, man.
pocket. Chris said, I hate you, but Prince.
Listen, man. Yeah, man. Personally, I'm gonna go with MJ on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with MJ.
Okay. Well, I hope you didn't hate it too much.
Nah, I didn't. I didn't. It made me think though. It made me think though. Like it definitely made me think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I just like to, loosen up people, especially when I don't know the topic, right? Like we've never met or anything like that. So it's just a nice way to kind of ease in before I get into the depth of the interview.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, how, if in any way, has your hometown shaped your style or influenced your style?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, cause New Haven, like people call us never win. Like New Haven, literally spelled backwards is never win. Um, so I feel like as though like, and you'll hear it in artists where if you ever get the opportunity to interview other artists from New Haven, you'll kind of get that sense of like, just hunger, kind of like, but hunger in the sense of like, I gotta eat and can't nobody else in a
Mm-hmm.
way. Um, Whereas me, like I've been to other places and I've heard how people kind of regard us, how people talk about us. Even just as far as like meeting somebody from like Hartford, which is still part of Connecticut, um,
Right.
and hearing the way like how they view us. So for me, it's kind of like I want New Haven to be looked at in a different light. Um, but also, it's kind of like I'm not going to allow anybody else to talk about where I'm from. Um, I feel like if people from New Haven kind of talked about us as if like kind of protected where we came from,
Hmm.
then I feel like we will have like a better opportunity of flourishing, even just Connecticut in general, not just New Haven, like whether it be New Haven, Bridgeport, Hartford. Like I said before, like we're the black sheep of the tri-state area. So specifically New Haven, you'll hear a lot of people talk about it like as if like they ready to get out of there. And yeah, New Haven is we got our fair share of crime. We got our fair share of, drama, whatever the case may be, but it's still home, you know.
Right.
So it's like it's one of those things where it's like if you talk bad about it elsewhere, you're kind of opening the door for other people elsewhere to do the kind of the same thing. So, I kind of take that attitude and like I kind of just make sure that I represent Connecticut like loud and proud.
Mm.
No shame, no whatsoever.
And I think you do that. Um, you're I can say like in listening to you, I can't compare you to anyone else. Like, and I know some artists don't like to be compared. Some artists take it as a badge of honor, but some don't. They be like, "Yo, don't compare me. Don't compare me." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa! It's not disrespect. It's just
Nah,
saying you study a craft, and even if it sounds like you're mimicking a little bit, which you're not, you take elements from different artists and kind of make it your own, right?"
yeah, that's the nature of the sport. Sometimes we do that. I'd be lying if I said I didn't listen to the Purple Tape. And that kind of changed. I like the Purple Tape changed the way I write completely.
Mm.
Um, for sure. Like I had to really stop prior to me like really studying that tape. I think what really made me appreciate that tape was I wrote with a lot of that tape, like Ghostface and Ray, they had like a lot of attitude when they spoke. So
Right, right.
so I'm like, oh, okay, like I need to start doing that too because I naturally have a monotone voice. But it's like I need you to feel what I'm saying when I say it.
Yeah, your voice when you do your music is completely different from the way you talk.
Yeah,
You,
thank you.
yeah, but it's good because in a way, because for people who know you or right, like they can hear the validity in your voice when you do your music.
Hmm.
And even people like me who don't know you, I can hear that same validity. Like you come on there, you got a purpose, you know what you're going to talk about, and you're going to get the message across.
Exactly. Exactly.
Are there any artists that have influenced your style?
Mm. Are there any artists that influence my style? Just off the bat, as far as like vulnerability, like I said, DMX, um, uh, just lyrical ability. I would say like Royce, um, Royce the 5'9" for sure. He's super super duper underrated. Um, Obviously Raekwon. He's my favorite Wu Tang member. Um, that's influenced my style. Um, Common in a sense, as far as like that sense of like serenity,
Hmm.
like speaking with a purpose. Um, J. Cole for dexterity. 50 for like authenticity.
Okay.
Trying to think of like I'm trying to give you one more. As far as like being able to relate like monotoneness, definitely Guru from Gangstar.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I thought like I had for so long I couldn't really like, when I first started, like I hated my voice. But I think like once some of my older heads, like my uncle, my father, they started hearing my music, they started comparing me to him. And at first I couldn't really grasp it, but then I started really realizing like, yo, Google's dope. He just got that monotone voice, but that's a different type of style. Um,
Right.
so I like the more I did it, the more I kind of related to it. And realized like, hey, like this is just my voice.
Right. You just have to roll with it and just get to where you need to get to with it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Are there any albums, and this could be any genre, any albums that have changed the way you see music?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go R&B on this one, like Mint Condition, Into the Factory.
Ooh,
Yeah, man.
material.
Because like,
Classic material.
yeah, like even though they have a lot of gems on that album. Like So Fine is my favorite song on that album. But as far as like a band is like a band, they really they like you can hear every instrument like within like every part, every person that's within that band, you can hear it. Um and for me that's kind of like a testament to how like everybody that contributes to something, or everybody that contributes to a song, an album, a skit, is important, you know?
Right.
Like So Fine, like that song, like, or even like You Send Me Swinging, like it wouldn't be the same if the drummer wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Like
A
it's one of
completely
those,
different song.
it'd be a completely different song. So it's like, yo, like it just goes to show like how everybody's like equally important. And kind of like one of those things where James Brown said like that person is put in that position for a reason, you know. And in that album, like I've listened to it recently, like a couple of times, and it's just like, yo, like you can hear every member of that band. You can hear the drummer loud and clear. You can hear the lead singer loud and clear. You can hear the guitar player loud and clear. Like that album kind of really stressed the importance of me like understanding that every member is important. So that album, Most Def, Black on Both Sides.
Mm-hmm.
More recently, Nas, Magic with him and Hit Boy.
Any
Um,
specific one of the three, or just the first? Or you mean
the
the first
first, the first one for
one?
sure. The
Okay.
first one for sure. Like all of them albums are fire, but the first one for sure. That one, yeah, that's like top three. That to me, that's top three Nas albums. Um, what other albums? It's Dark and Hell is Hot, DMX, of course. Kendrick Lamar, Damn, I like that one. Uh,
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like two more. I could give you a whole bunch of albums all day. Um, Usher Confessions.
Okay.
As far as like cohesiveness from start to finish, and just making sure that it's like a flow, like everything ties around this one theme. Um, growing like when I was a kid, I thought yeah had nothing to do with the album, but growing up, I realized like it does.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sometimes, like I've told people, like people be like certain albums can be bad because the songs are ordered incorrectly.
Yeah,
Like, or you might have some songs that don't go with the theme of that album. Like for example, take Jesus, ignorant shit, right? Jay
yeah,
Z and Siegel. That was a cut for the Black album, but that would have thrown the whole Black album off. You'd have been like, "Where'd that come from? That
yeah.
song don't belong there." But American Gangster, 4 years later, it belongs there.
It belongs there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll give you two more. It's funny because I was going to say that one, but I'll give you two more. Um, that was a good one. Great minds think alike.
No,
Um,
a Gemini blood, bro.
you already know. You already know. Um, I'm gonna go with Absol Herbert.
Yes.
I feel like Absol, he really like he chilled on the conspiracy theory theme type and got just a little bit more personal, a little bit more like outside of his approach what he would normally do with this album. I feel like as artists sometimes we need to do that. Um, just be a little bit more open, a little bit more transparent. And if I could give you one more album, I said the Purple Tape already.
Yeah.
Um, Alina Perez and what is it? I'm drawing the blank. What is it? Alina Perez. Or nah, not that one, not that one, not that one. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me.
You good?
Um, SZA's last album was dope too.
Yes.
You
Okay.
know, it's one of those that made me like pay attention to like what's being talked about today. Um, So as much as I'm an old soul, I still gotta acknowledge like what's going on and kind of stay within my age range of like certain
Right.
topics. So I don't really gotta conform to it, but maybe I could take some inspiration from Snooze or whatever other song and kind of make my own little twist to it. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So, speaking of that, now your inspirations for your songs, do they
Mhm.
come from specific life experiences, or emotions?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both. On the EP, um, Resurrect was definitely one of those that was like inspired by like real life. Definitely Live For and Resurrect were more so like life um, life reflective selections. Um, just there was a time where like I battled with didn't even know it, but really was battling with depression. Um, really battling with finding motivation on just trying to like move forward and asking God like, damn, like why is all this shit happening to me?
Hmm.
Stuff that we as men um we kind of just go through on a day to day basis. And I made it my mission is just like, all right, cool, I got to talk about it, but I can't talk about it in a Hollywood type of fashion. Um,
Right.
I feel like sometimes with artists, we kind of like one of my friends told me like, hey, like listen, if you're gonna be vulnerable, like don't have like you really gotta be vulnerable. You really gotta be like I feel like you don't want to beat around the bush with it. Like if you
Right.
want people to connect to what you're saying, then you kind of gotta get a little personal. Be like just let it out. Um, and I took that I took that suggestion kind of serious because it's like, hey, like if this is what I do, I'm a heartfelt person, so I want people to feel what I'm saying. So
Right.
Resurrect, I had a couple lines up there where I was a little skeptical about writing, but I was just like, fuck it, if this is what I want, then I gotta really be honest here. Um, so yeah, it was definitely inspired by what I was going through in life, and then it's just like, hey, I have my days where even though I'm in the funk, I fight right back. So that's where Resurrect kind of come in. It's just like, all right, cool. I was in this funk, but I'm not about to stay in this funk. We gotta get out of it. But it was just me just acknowledging the moments that I do have. Everything is not always sweet.
And it's not always going to be, you know. And every event we go through helps us shape who we are,
Hmm.
or who we want to become, or who we could become.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And, when you when you have those things and you start working on a new song,
Hmm.
like I guess I mean so much your creative process, like what happens first? So like, like I've seen artists, right? Or I've heard artists, they'll write a song, right? They'll write whatever. And then it's just like, okay, we wrote this song, that's all well and good, but sometimes when they write the song, they can't find a beat that goes with those lyrics. Like this something that fits. Some artists have said to me, yeah, sometimes I just need a beat and then I write. Or is it just like, or do you go by concept? You know what you want to talk about. Like, what's your preference of style when you're making your music?
So my mind is always kind of going. Gemini.
Mhm.
So
Always a
yeah,
thousand miles a minute.
yeah, my mind is always going like 1,000 miles a minute. So I already have like preset topics that I want to kind of talk about. Um, it's just a matter of finding the beat. Um, Once I hear a beat, if it catches me, I stick with it, and then I allow myself to just feel like, what does this beat do to me? Like, what is this? Where is this beat taking me? How is this beat making me feel?
Yeah.
And then from there, it's just like, okay, cool. Like I got it. I know what this is. I know how I need to come on this beat. Then now I'm about to just start writing. When I first started writing, it was always verse first, hook second. Started really like switching that around. Where it's like, all right, hook first, then the verses. But as long as I keep that, I think the important thing for me is I got to keep that feeling, like allow, like that feeling, that emotion, whatever emotion I'm feeling. I'm like, when I hear that beat, I maintain it. Even if I don't finish the song right then and there, like I'll just make a note of it, like on my phone. I'll be at work listening to beats. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, cool, whatever. Even if I can't get to it for whatever reason, like I'll just write it down on my whatever I could get. I just write it down on my phone right then and there, so that way, boom, I'm not like lost if I got to come back to it.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because everyone's different. Like even like me, like the amount of stuff I do or that got my hands in, it's outrageous. Like my
Mhm.
wife and my mom tell me I do too much, but when I eventually turn all these things into passive aggressive income, you ain't gonna be saying I'm doing too much then.
Yeah.
You know, this podcast is one of three podcasts I do.
Mm.
I do this one. I have another one called Mike's Music Corner. I'd love for you to come on that.
Oh yeah.
What we do there is we would take your project and we break it down song by song and have a discussion. I give my analysis. A lot of people like my music analysis. I give my analysis. We just have a discussion about it. I did one episode, so maybe off camera after the show we can set something up for that if you want to come on and
I'm here, bro. Let me know when.
yeah, definitely. I do a sports show on Mondays, and I got a wrestling podcast coming very soon.
Okay.
Um, I'm starting to work with this entertainment group. Actually, have an opportunity I'd like to offer you for that. Once again, off camera. I do photography. I'm an ordained minister. I have a security license. I'm about to start. I'm about to be about to work with a travel agency.
My
I'm
man, my man, the jack of all trades, yo.
know, life insurance. I'm trying to become a motivational speaker, life coach. You can't have too many skills. And I've just tried to figure out how to incorporate. I have all my goals. I don't know where my damn vision board went, but it's somewhere around here.
It's somewhere in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's somewhere in there.
You
I got one. I got one over here too.
know, I want to learn how to cut hair. Like I don't want. I drive a truck now. I don't want to do that forever. I don't want to do that forever. And so yes, I got a lot. So I can. I'm with you when it's like my mind's going and going and going,
Yeah, man.
and my wife's like, "You do," and then on top of that, me and my wife collectively have 5 kids. I still got to make time for her. And make time for them. And it's
Yo,
but
family man, it's a tough life. I get it. It's a rough life, but it's one that it comes with the territory.
right, like I said, my goals within the next probably 3 years. I want to go into my wife and say, "You don't have to work a full-time job if you don't want to."
And that's a good goal to have, man. I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
she gonna love you for that, bro.
I would tell her you don't have to work, but she ain't gonna listen. She gonna work. Like that's just in her blood.
Word, word, word.
How do you ensure that each song has a unique feel or message of its own?
Because I don't really, if I'm not gonna do it 100%, I don't finish it. Um, I make sure that it's complete. I make sure that, like, I before I even step in the booth, like I kind of go through it, um, and just make sure, like, hey, did I get everything off that I needed to say within this time frame? Did I get the message across? Like, are there any bars that's like going too far? Is there any bars that's kind of like not hitting? Do I need to revise? Like, I do all of that. So that way, boom, by the time I get in the booth, it's just a matter of going in, recording. Maybe I need to re-deliver a line. Um, but timing is like, it's not really a rush for me, but it's definitely making sure that I'm making the time useful.
Right.
It's even to the point where I go to the studio. I don't invite nobody. I don't have an entourage. Like, I go in the studio dolo.
You and the engineer.
Just me and the engineer. Like, ain't really no need. Like, I'm not one of those where it's like you probably seen those TikToks where people be throwing like having the bros come through. Nah,
Like
like
smoking and drinking and
nah, bro. Nah, I mean we might drink once we're done recording,
right,
you know, but I might drink in the booth just to get some a little bit of emotion out of me. But it's
right,
not it's not a party. It's not a game. You know, like this. It's for real. This business we creating right now.
right.
So I mean, I don't step into the booth until like it's 100% thought out, and then I go from there, go in there and make sure I record it.
Yeah, and probably the only other time is, and and you, I mean, and maybe you could speak. Well, I'm sure you can speak to this, but when you hear collaborations now,
Hmm.
um, a lot of artists email tracks.
Mm.
Um, but to me, this is just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
You're the artist, you could probably speak to this. To me, I feel like the energy is different when the two artists are in the studio together versus emailing tracks. Like, there's been dope songs. Let's not get it wrong. Two songs that come to mind is "Calm Down," Busta Rhymes and Eminem. And like the story behind it of Busta, like, yeah, I left Eminem 16 bars and he sent back 20. Then
Yeah.
I made this and that and that. And then it turned into this
Turn-
long song.
yeah, and
You
it's just like, all right, what's the point of this song now? Yeah, I get it.
and then it was Big Sean and Eminem, no favors. Big Sean said, I left Eminem room for 16 bars and he sent that back and I changed my verse. Like, he's like, I changed my verse because, like, so so is that something like when you collaborate? Is that a time you allow that artist to come with you, or do you kind of do that
Um,
mostly collaborating, the emailing? Is that because it is easier? Just even like like this podcast, right? Like there's people who've told me no because they want to do in person. I don't have the financial resources, right, to go in person right now. So it's kind of like one of those things. But what's your view on that?
I mean, I do whatever's like really conducive to the situation. Like I started out recording. I started making music with my cousin, and we were in like he had a studio on his third floor in his house, and we started out. We would be right there,
Right.
writing together. Um, like I'm talking about eat, sleep, take a shower, right back to it. Like pretty much all day. So I'm personally used to being in the studio with um, the artists that I'm working with. Now, I mean, like if they have their own personal studio that they would prefer to record at, I'm all for that. I'm all for it. Don't really prefer it, but I mean, hey, if that's your creative space where you feel comfortable getting a song at, where you feel like getting in your zone, then by all means, I'll support it. But for the most part, like if we're in a song together, then yeah, pull up to the studio.
Right.
It's nothing like really being around that artist because that's when the energies really start to like
Flow and mesh.
yeah, it start to flow, start to mesh, it really start to come alive. Like I understand you as an artist, you understand me as an artist. I see how you maneuver, you see how I maneuver. Um, yeah, man, it's nothing like that energy, like around being somebody. Like honestly, I feel like I've written some of my best, like my best when I'm around somebody, and I'm just like, damn, like I gotta kill this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm kill this nigga. I'm trying
Well,
to kill this nigga. Like
it creates a
on the song.
competitive energy, one, right? And
Yeah,
the thing is too, like, okay, if you're emailing tracks, it's cut and dry, right? For the most part. Less you leave Eminem 16 bars. Um for artists, it's cut and dry. This is my part. This is your part. The engineer does the mixing and all that. And okay, a song is born. Cool. No big deal. But like if you're in the studio with that artist, you might cue on something and be like, oh, wait a minute. Like that doesn't sound, this might sound better, right? You can
Yeah,
create, you can now on in real time figure out ways to make it better, or things that might sound better, or you might say, oh, that bar sounds better here or there. Like those
yeah,
are the things that I personally feel that, as a fan of hip hop music, that I miss. Not saying that these collabs we get these days are bad, because a lot of them are good, but you can definitely feel the energy when when they're in the studio,
yeah.
or,
And,
when they've worked. Because like take first person shooter, you ain't gonna tell me they emailed that song. You
no,
ain't gonna tell me that. I would not believe that. I just, or even on the scary hours, the evil ways song. There's no
yeah,
way that
no,
they are back
yeah,
and forth. There's no way you emailed that song.
yeah. It's no way, and it's like you said before, like that energy is top notch. It's nothing like it. Um, I kind of look at it as a way of like, even though I do have that little competitive edge, which is hip hop, like it's normal. Um, Even if I'm not collabing with another rapper, just like another like a singer for instance, like they get a sense of like what I'm trying to contribute, and it's just like, hey, here's how I can add to this. Let me add this to it. It's nothing like it. It's really nothing like it. I wouldn't trade that energy for the world. I actually love being in the studio with those people that are contributing, because we're all working together to make sure that this song um it's supposed to deliver. It's supposed to do what it's supposed to do. Even if it's with another rapper, it's just like, all right, cool. Like, we both spitting, but let's make sure that we both bring in our A game, so that way this song is something worth listening to.
Right, something people will remember.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you stay motivated and inspired to create music? Um, because motivation is like key, right? Like, you got to like sometimes, like I had a guest on here Tuesday, Daniel Vajegas. He's a American rapper, Latin rapper, Congo player, spoken word poet. And in the comments, someone asked him to do a live freestyle. He did it. He just loves hip hop and loves rapping. But sometimes, you could say, one of my boys, God rest his soul, Naj Murph. I'd be like, yo, spit a little free. He goes, I ain't feeling it today. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what is your key to staying motivation and inspired to create?
Um. Well, just for the sake of knowing, like, one thing is just knowing that I can. Um. That it's my God given ability to like write. Um. And knowing that, like, I haven't reached my peak yet. Knowing that I can get better with time. Um. And just also like hearing just hearing the feedback, really. I'm somebody that doesn't really I hate attention. Like I do. So when people give me that spotlight, that limelight, like, yo, like, I love what you did. I like, sometimes I just put stuff out, and I just, like, I'm not really looking for a specific feedback, but the
Right.
feedback is definitely what keeps me going. um I love hip hop. I love what I do. uh, and it's those type of things where it's just like, okay, like, people are actually listening, people are actually tuning in. Like you told me, you listened to it 6 times. I didn't actually listen to it 6 times, but that right there is like, wow, like, thank you. It's
No, no,
it's
thank
just,
you.
yeah, man, it's humbling. It's like, it's to the point now where it's just like, not even now, but just in general, I feel like sometimes I'm doing it for the people that are invested, that, and they definitely want to hear from me. Um, One of my friends, she was just like, "Yo, like, can you please drop a project? Like, I get it, you dropping single, but can you please give us a project?" And I was just like, "Yo, you know what? Like, I got you. Like, I got you."
Mm,
It's sometimes it's selfless in a way. Like that's the motivation of it. It's like I'm a selfless person, so that's one of like my selfless acts is like giving those people that's actually invested in my music.
Right. I'm gonna tell you, listening to that EP, I had one problem with it,
Hmm.
that it ended.
or.
Like, okay, growing up,
Mhm.
and the first album I ever listened to was Mace Harlem World. That had 20 songs on it.
Yeah.
That's the first album I bought and recollected, right?
Okay.
Obviously, I went back. As you grow into hip hop, you go back and learn the appreciation of the older music.
Yep.
And for a long time, you would get these 20 song albums, 15 songs, 18 songs, 16 songs, and get a lot of quality.
Hmm.
But there's one album that really kind of throws that out the window, an older album, and that's Illmatic.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
When he said Nas's rap should be locked in a cell, it ain't hard to tell. And I'm like, really? You're gonna end the album with that? Like, really? That's how you felt?
So,
Um,
oh yeah, man.
like this EP gave me that feel that I wanted more, right? Because that's you don't want to give them too much, or oversaturate. Like I take the Game's last album, Drillmatic, not the thing he did with Big Hit this year. Drillmatic last year. I was like, bro, like you called it Drillmatic, and you didn't hit the head like at all. You
Mhm.
had a couple songs, still too feature heavy as Game primarily has been for his
Mhm.
career. Not taking away from his talent as an artist, but I
Yeah,
would,
he's a talented artist.
I would just like to hear more of just him.
Yeah.
Um, but now I'm like, all right, well, if you don't drop again, that don't bother me, But with this project, I'm looking to hear more. And I've learned that less is more. When Kanye started doing these 7 song albums, I'm like, this ain't an album,
Hmm.
But then I had to learn to realize that I would much rather you or whoever take 5 or 6 songs, put together um, a good body of work with those 5 or 6 songs, then you say, okay, I'm going to do 12 songs or 13 songs, and then I end up liking 6 anyway. Now, you, the artist, have wasted time, you've wasted money, you've wasted resources, and then, every artist has music in the bank. You could have said, you could have been working on a project 4 years later and said, ooh, this song is going to fit the concept. Who's going to know you made it 4 years ago? No one's
No,
going to know.
nobody's gonna know.
No one's going to know,
No one's gonna know at all. That's the beautiful part about it. Like nobody really knows.
unless you divulge, like, yeah, I really made this song for that project, but didn't fit the concept. So I held on to it, because artists, when they go and they make their new albums, they go into the vault. They
Yep,
go into the vault.
we do.
They do primarily record a lot, but they go into the vault. You don't have a choice,
Yeah, we don't.
you know?
We don't. Yeah. So I mean that's it. Wow. Like to be compared in the same trajectory of Illmatic. That's a sheesh. Like thank you. And yeah, you're right. I had to really put into perspective. Like this is my first project on DSPs and
Yeah.
in general. I did it last time I dropped the project was on SoundCloud like 2017. Um, and I've been doing music since then. Like I never really stopped, but there were times where I had to like just put it on hold for a minute.
Yeah.
Uh, so with this one, it was like okay, yeah, like I gotta make it like effective. I gotta make it like I just gotta make it effective. I don't want it to be like overextended, but I definitely want it to be like a reasonable length to where people want to listen. Am I the most like Am I the most known rapper from New Haven? Nah, but I'm okay with that
Right.
because those that know, and it's just like okay, if this is gonna be the first thing that you ever hear from me out of everything that I've ever done, then I wanted to, you know, like I wanted to hit for sure. Like I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit like you are disappointed that you didn't know about me before.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And you definitely have hit that for sure. For me, you
Thank
know,
you, thank you.
absolutely. That's like, I had an artist on here last week, Carlito Black. Same thing. Like a guy who I'm friends with from Detroit.
Hmm.
We became friends on Instagram. Now he's part of my sports show every Monday. His name's Ryan, but he goes by R&B because he likes to sing.
Okay.
And then he reached out to me saying he called me and said, "Listen, you should have this artist on your show." Okay, so he told me the name. I heard the music. I liked the music. I DM'd him, and boom, he was like, "Damn, I just told you about him 3 days ago, and he's on the show." I'm like, "I don't play,
You don't
bro."
play around. Yeah, you don't play around.
I don't play. Like you tell like and then same thing with you. Chris hit me like, yo, this guy. I said, okay, what's his name? I heard one song and I was like, get him on the show. I don't even need to hear more. Get him on the show.
Yeah, appreciate that.
No doubt, no doubt. How do you balance staying true to your artistic art? I wrote autistic there. Artistic vision while also appealing to a wider audience.
Mm, that's a good question. Um, I guess just staying authentic, because I'm a firm believer of, if you're really good at something, then people will say it for you. You don't have to say it. So
Yeah,
I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I bring to the table. So obviously, like with just being a rapper, you go on display your skills, but as far as like just in real time, like I don't feel the need to like really tell everybody like how gifted I am. I don't feel the need to do that. I feel like those people um, that are in tune will kind of do it for me. And I mean it's in like the most humblest way. Like I'm not really trying to like sell you guys something. It's just more so like giving you guys like different extensions of like who I am just in an artistic form. So everything you hear in some way, shape, or form is definitely like a product of me or like how I feel. Like it's an extension of me, and in some way. But also I kind of keep that like that boundary. Well, not even a boundary, but just that like mystiqueness in a sense because there's some people that don't really know about me. I mean,
right,
there's some people that don't really know me to the sense, but even just somebody going out their way of making that connection for me, like I learned that hey, maybe like there's some times where I need to do that, but there's sometimes maybe I can just sit back and just just kind of let life, like you said,
mhm,
like, my man's reached out to you. Like I didn't ask him to do that, you know, like he kind
yeah,
of just did that off the strength of the fact that he believed in me. And,
yeah,
so when it comes to that, it's like, all right, cool. Like I kind of just I just gotta keep giving people like stuff what they believe in, like if people believe in me, then it's just like, all right, cool. If people want to hear from me, it's like, all right, cool. But I'm gonna always give you an extension of, that, but in a way that kind of like is that like displays my integrity. Like nothing is kind of forced. Nothing is forced. Nothing is fabricated. Nothing is kind of Hollywood. Those people that surround me, that's close to me, they know like the stuff that I say or the stuff that I like I rap about is pretty much like kind of stuff that I probably would say off the record. You
right.
know, I stay true to me, so that way people like can really vouch or you know um, insult my intelligence. I turn Frank would say anybody that know like I hate my intelligence being insulted.
Yeah,
I hate it, so I just kind of stay authentic, and I kind of like let the art and the people kind of talk for me sometimes.
It's in a sense the art has to do. You don't want you to do the talking. You want the music to do the talking.
Yeah,
You stay and you know who you are as an individual, and your music conveys that, and it's for us the fans or the listeners rather to interpret that.
yeah, because some people might know the music before they know you, and if it's like, when like think about like everybody we just named, I'm pretty sure it's a plethora of artists that we know out there. We don't know them personally, but we know the music, you
Hmm.
know. And if the music is good enough, we can't wait to tell the next person about like, yo, I can't wait for you to hear this new Kendrick project. Or I can't wait for
Hmm.
you to hear this new like, yo, you gotta hear this guy right here. Like like I kind of thrive off of that
Yeah,
because it's gonna
absolutely.
happen. It's gonna happen. Especially when your music kind of like it spreads. It's gonna happen. People are gonna be talking about your music, and it's gonna touch them in ways that you wouldn't even think that it would touch them.
Music is forever,
Seriously.
forever. Can you talk about specific lyrics or verses that hold a special meaning to you?
For sure. It's killer. Bachelor's in accounting and I rep it hard. Skilled in ADP and QuickBooks. Check the repertoire. Fuck what you heard. I'm a man of my word. And my resume is polished. Got me over the curve. AP skills. Payroll process. Yo, I got this. Bank reconciliation. What's the situation? Taking things further. Superseding the plan. Manly management. The board up the land. Thinking I'm strictly trying to cop those. So with that, that's duffel bag verse 2. So
Mm.
that's just me kind of giving people a background of like giving more people of a background of who I am. Like, all right, cool. I went to school for accounting, got my bachelor's in it. Skilled at ADP. That's a human resources software that I know like the back of my hand. I did bank reconciliations at my old job. Um, and we did it on QuickBooks, so I'm kind of skilled in that.
Okay.
Just kind of letting people know I got different skills and Mandy Management. Here come the Connecticut references. So Mandy Management is actually like a landlord company. They slumlords. I'm gonna just quote for what it is. They slumlords, like they slumlords. If you ever come to Connecticut in New Haven area, you're gonna see a lot of buildings that say Nets Mandy Management. They're gonna say Mandy Management on them, and they're a company that don't really keep properties up to par. Um, at my previous employer, they used to put us in apartments for the summer, and property it just wasn't kept upright, you know. So when I said taking things further, superseding the plan, management has brought up the land, thinking I'm strictly trying to cop those. Limited thinking, claim it was nachos, posted in the corner, you don't even on the block though. It's like if I was a millionaire, like I would kind of buy, or if I had the resources, if I had the finances, I would buy all the property from them just so like people within like the urban communities can have like suitable housing. You know, you ride around like you see it. People be like, what I'm saying, posted in front of it, like how dudes are. They posted in front of the block like they own the block, but it's just like, no,
Hmm.
you don't really own the block. It's just like these motherfuckers own the block. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that limited thinking where it's just like, yo, like I will never live under them again. Because of how they like what I'm saying, or the little regard they have for their tenants.
Yes.
So it's kind of like me. That verse kind of holds a special place to me because I want people to understand one, it's okay to have different skills. Like, yes, I'm a rapper, but I'm not only a rapper.
Right.
Um, and then two is just like, hey, listen, like it's cool to have a bag, but it's more effective on what you will actually do with the bag. You
Right.
know, and that's something that you know, let like $100 million drop on me right now. Like, oh, best believe by tomorrow, like I'm going to buy some property, especially from them motherfuckers right there, because I got family members that probably live in Manny management. Like I had counselors that I was responsible for living under Manny's management, and I didn't like some of the conditions that they left us in. So
Mm.
even though it was only a limited amount of time, it was just like, yo, like I don't see how anybody could be comfortable with these conditions. Like we got to get these motherfuckers out of here. So like that verse specifically, like I wanted to really hone in on, duffel bag one. I was just talking fly money shit, but on duffel bag two, it was just more so like making sure that I tie into the financial literacy of things. Letting people know, like, yo, like I said before, it's cool to have a bag, but it's more like what you do with the bag is more effective. And if you're using it to make your community better versus like trying to get the designer this or
Right.
all that stuff, like that's what really makes you like, you know. Um,
Absolutely.
so
Well,
that
people have a bad tendency of believing that material items make the man or the
yeah,
person, and material things, they come and they go, right? But those you people, they come and they go, but when they go, they don't come back.
no,
You can get another phone, you can get another computer, you can get another TV, you can get another controller, but once your mother passes away, your brother, your friend, they don't come back.
no, they don't.
And
So
people don't understand that
yeah, man. So
at all.
they really really don't. So I kind of wanted to just just tie into the importance of what goes on around us, like
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Killer Volume 1 is out.
hmm
I loved that it said Volume 1. So now I'm going to ask,
yes sir.
when will there be Volume 2, roughly? If you had to guess.
hmm If I had to guess, well, I'll tell you like this: I'm gonna make it my duty to make sure that it's not next October when you hear Killer Volume Two. Um,
Okay.
I'm trying my best to like shorten the gaps on when I release music. You know, um, I understand everything like the attention spans nowadays are shorter, but on the flip side, I understand that I have those core supporters that are always going to support me no matter how long it takes. However, I don't want to abuse that. I don't want to abuse that because I feel like
Right.
that can be like traumatizing in a way. Um, I feel like that can be like, damn, like he just gave his Killer Volume One, and I mean, we ain't heard from him since.
Yeah.
Or like, nah, I don't want that. Like I'm not at that level yet. So, you know, um, that timing is important. Like I understand people want music, people want to hear from me. So my duty is to make it so that way, like it's not next October for sure. Like roughly, I would like it. I would like Killer Volume Two because I want to do something in between. I,
Right.
I would like Killer Volume Two to come like maybe like early 2025.
All right. Okay.
Early being like prior to April maybe.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know.
because me kind of starting to get into this music business and starting to like understand, right? And starting at least the business side. I will never be in front of a microphone spitting bars, but if I could be the man behind the scenes for artists and advocate for artists and things of that nature, I'm with it. And it's kind of like it's marketing, right? So like one of my friends, she was on the show Tuesday. I did 2 episodes of this show on Tuesday. Um, Her name's Andromeda, and she disclosed on the show that she was going to do a single for each month of next year. Okay. See, because I had asked her, I said, well, what about a full length project, right? Or even an EP. She's not comfortable with doing it. To your point of the attention spans, right? Being short, you could, she doesn't want to do that, at least not right now. I said, well, what you could do, right, is at the end of the year, you could release all those songs, right, collectively, and then you could put it together and package it and put it together as a project, and then say if you purchase this project or add this project, you get two bonus songs, and then you get a digital copy. She's got like a poetry magazine with pictures coming out. I said you can get a digital copy of the magazine along with that. She's like, whoa, it's a good idea. I
Yeah,
said that way you kind of give them everything they want, right? Because people want music. You're giving them a single every month. People want a project. You're giving them a project. They're saying you get this project. You also get two songs that I didn't feature, and you give them something to read as well. I was like, listen, I ain't telling you what to do. She goes, that's really smart. I said,
yeah,
what?
and it's like you giving people something to live with. You know, like I think about like music when we were coming up, and that album kind of like albums kind of take us projects kind of take us back to like a moment in our lives to the point where we can't relive times that
Right,
we've already experienced. So like if anything, you're gonna listen to that whole thing just to relive that moment again. And I
right,
started really taking that in mind. It's just like, hey, like dropping singles are cool, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that singles are less than projects, but it's like I feel like people are gonna remember what they were going through when I dropped Killer Volume One. To the
right,
point where like years from now they're gonna go back to it like, yo, I gotta listen to that again because like, yo, that was I remember when he dropped and he dropped and he dropped like, yo, that was a quick. Nah, I gotta revisit that album. You know,
right.
singles are cool, but singles are singles, and
And
like
that's what
just
they're meant to be. You're saying in a sense,
they're meant to be singles, and like I said, it's not a nut to singles because I dropped a shitload of them. You know what I'm saying? But it's like now I kind of got to give people something to like live with. Like even my first project on SoundCloud, like I have my friends that like, yo, like, remember when you did this? Like, that was a crazy semester. It's like people always want to go back to that feeling that they had when music was coming out. So I kind of want to give people that. Like, I want to give people these moments that they can live with, that they can go back to, that they can like, kind of tie in with like a specific period during their life. Like, who knows? Like, this might be a rough time in somebody's life right now, but Killer Volume One was something that they needed to kind of like navigate through. You know, like in recent years, like 2019 was bad. 2019 was bad for me, but I had the Purple Tape. I had even Roddy Rich album. Please excuse me for being antisocial. I had
mhm.
what it was. Matt, you ever heard of Maxo Cream?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Haven't
he's a Houston rapper, but and I had went back to school that year, so I remember those three specific albums kind of got me through that short semester that I was, So whenever I go back and listen to those albums, they kind of remind me of that dark time in my life and how like it kind of got me through. Like even Nipsey Hussle Victory Lap that got me through my last semester of school. You know what I'm saying? Like that got me through my last semester of school. He couldn't have dropped that at an even better time. Like at a time when I didn't really want to finish school, he dropped that, and I was just like, oh nah, yeah, I gotta finish school now. Victory lap. I'm at the victory lap.
like. Let me tell you. I remember someone when that album came out. So many people were talking about it,
Hmm.
I'm just like, and I'm not a big believer in like following the crowd. But then when I start seeing all the nominations, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna listen.
Yeah, man.
I listened to that. He became a favorite rapper.
Yeah,
I,
yo,
I almost cried when he died.
yeah, man. That was a sad period of time because that was. It's funny how life works, Like that was my best friend's favorite rapper, and I called him and gave him the news. And when DMX passed, he called me and gave me the news. So, yeah, Nip was special, So like when he for him to drop that, and I love my favorite Nipsey also album is on Mailbox Money.
Mhm.
But when he dropped that album, like literally my last semester of college. before I graduated, like it was just like, oh nah, yeah, like you know. So I to bring it back full circle is just like certain projects take you back to like a certain time in your life.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, I've been doing this for a while, so now it's really time for me to give y'all bodies of work that y'all can actually live with and contribute to your life. You know, like I don't want to keep doing the same thing. Like I want to, even if it's just a short 3 song, it will never be that short. But
Yeah.
even if it, for conversation's sake, even if it's
Right.
just a short 3 song EP, like I'm gonna give y'all something that y'all can live with.
Well, the other thing too is when you put something out, you know it lives there forever, right?
Mhm.
So the thing is, you don't. More importantly, or maybe just as importantly, you don't want something attached to Kellz Turner that isn't good. That's the thing too. It's a pride thing, and it's just you don't want anything attached that's not going to be like you didn't put your all into it.
Exactly.
Sometimes artists put out stuff and they're like, yeah, that wasn't good. Like some things like are unforgivable, like
Yeah,
Nas's album Nostradamus, horrible, unforgivable.
yeah, yeah.
But then he followed it with Stillmatic, and then people, I won't say I forgave him for Nostradamus, but it sure as hell made me forget about it for a while.
Yeah, 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 nah. But yeah, no, not exactly. Like if I don't feel it, then like it just won't come out. You know, even if it means that you guys have to wait, which I promise I'm gonna do my best to make sure that y'all don't wait too long. But like if it's not right here, then I'm not gonna put it out. But if it is, oh yeah, best believe you're gonna hear
It's
it.
happening.
It's happening. It's gonna happen.
So if you could collaborate with any artist, could be locally, could be famous, dead or alive,
Hmm.
who would that or they be?
Okay, I'll give you three each category. I give you
Okay.
three. I give you 3 dead. I'll give you 3 alive, and then I'll give you 3 from my hometown.
Okay.
3 dead. Um, Big L, just to sharpen my pen. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not somebody that everybody just not gonna rap with, but I'll rap with him just for the sake of getting better.
Oh yeah.
I'll rap with Big L. Um, hmm, Mac Miller.
Wait, who
Mac,
was the second one? I'm sorry, Mac Miller.
Mac Miller.
Okay.
Yeah, Mac Miller. He approached hip hop in like a fun way that made you kind of like intrigued. It's just like, yo, you know what? I kind of want to rap with homeboy. Like he kind of he nice. You know what I'm saying? He nice and like he just had his own way of doing things. So Big L, Mac Miller. Um, Last one dead. You know what I'm saying? Obviously X. you
Don't
know.
go wrong.
For sure, for sure. 3 living. It has to be rappers or it could be any type of artist.
Oh, don't have to be rappers. Any artist, R&B. You could tell me freaking Beethoven, like
All right, cool, cool. So,
whoever you want.
all right, so whoever I want. All right, but so 3 living. I would love. I would love to work with. I would love to work with Big Crit.
Okay,
I would love to work with Big Crit. For sure, for sure. Let me throw a singer in there. Let me throw a singer in there. A singer I would love to work with would be Ari Lennox. I love
ooh,
Ari. You know, I say I got a little crush on Ari.
ooh,
you know, what I'm saying beautiful, like black woman, man. You can't.
ooh.
So, I would love to work with Ari Lennox. But no, like on a serious note, she dope too. Like I love her music. I love the way like she approaches doing music. Um, so I said Big Crit, Ari Lennox, Hit Boy. You know what I'm saying? His production is crazy. Um, his production is crazy, man. His production is crazy. Like he just, I was a fan of Hit Boy before I even knew who Hit Boy was. You know,
Absolutely.
like you know how you just hear stuff and you just like, damn, like who the fuck? And do you do your research? Like, oh snap, he produced that too.
Yeah, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, what's that song by ASAP Rocky? One Train. I never knew he produced that,
Yo,
and I'm just like, yo, like Hit Boy
yo,
produced this.
I
Like,
was listening to that song today.
yeah, yo, listen,
Song, oh my god,
yeah, man.
song's like a mind fuck. Like that song is dope.
Nah, that song is super dope. It's super dope. All right, I give you three from New Haven,
Okay, go for it.
and I you know what I mean. I definitely recommend like looking these artists up. These are some dope artists.
I'll write them down.
I'm gonna start off with my man Chess LV, Chess like the game chess, and then LV. Um, he actually owed me some hooks. So if he ever see this, like, yeah, Chess, like, get on those. You know what I'm saying? So we can make this music. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with me. Um, Second, I'm gonna go Nova Big Stepper. Um, Nova like the star, and then Big Stepper. Um, she's just gifted. We actually went to college together. Her real name is Britt. I know Britt since like I don't even know if she remembered this, but I know Britt since we was young, like in the projects. Um, and then we ended up at the same college together, and like man, she's gifted. Like if anybody from New Haven is gonna make it first, like to that level, it's definitely gonna be her for sure, no doubt about it.
Okay.
Um, so I said Chess LV, um,
Yep. Yep.
Nova.
I just pulled him up. So I'm
Yep,
just
yep,
gonna give him a follow so I remember.
he's dope. Nova Big Stepper, and one last one from the town. Um, One last one from the town, man. I gotta think like who would it make sense for me to collab with? Um, Seventh World Corleone. Seven World Corleone. Like we don't. I don't think we know each other, but like I heard some of his stuff, and he's dope, and he actually gave my project like a fair listen. I believe he gave my project like a fair listen, and he reached out. It was just like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, you dope. So, and I hear like I feel like me and his styles will kind of like mesh. Um,
Yeah.
I'm very big on that. Like as far as like who would make sense for me to collab with, and yeah, he would be dope. So yeah, I would say those three: Chess LV, Seven World Corleone, and Nova Big Stepper. Like if you don't have them, I definitely recommend like giving them a follow, giving them a listen. Three
Well,
three dope artists for sure.
Nova Big Stepper must be really well known because we got 62 mutual people.
Yeah,
So,
yo, she's doing what every artist is supposed to do. Every artist that's not of that level yet, she's doing what we're supposed to do for sure.
well, yeah, you know what that means.
Yeah, man.
She got to come on the show one way or another.
Yeah, man. It wouldn't hurt to reach out to her.
Listen. The worst anyone can say is no, right?
That,
That's the
but
worst.
hey, but at least I gave her a shout out.
No, definitely, definitely. So we're almost to the end. What's if you could pick one thing, right? One goal for your music or something in the music industry for you to do, what would it be? And what I mean when I say that is if you said to me, I want to have one of the greatest albums of all time, or I want to sell out Madison Square Garden, or I want to sell out a world tour, like if you had one impactful thing in hip hop that stamped, this is who Kellz Turner was, or this is what one thing Kellz Turner wanted to do, what would it be?
I mean, besides all those things, if there's one thing that means the most to me, if there's one thing that means the most to me, the one thing that I want. is when you talk about top rappers from Connecticut,
Mhm.
I want my name to be like such a no-brainer answer. Like when you think of New York, you think of who?
You think of Biggie? Think of Jay?
You see how quick you did that?
you know,
That's what I want.
you
That's
know. Same thing if you think about the West. You think about Ice Cube. You think Snoop. You think Dre. You know,
you see how quick you did that?
Detroit. You go to Eminem. I mean,
I need my I don't care what number I am. I just need my name within that flurry of names. Like you can have me a number six. As
you
long
cool with
as
that?
I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to be because it's never gonna be unanimously the greatest ever. But as far as like when we talk about who's amongst the greatest, you have a couple names that go in that category.
Mm.
I want my name to be mentioned. I don't have to be number one. I I could be number 14. I could be I just you know what I mean? I just want to be
In the conversation.
I want to be in the conversation.
Absolutely. So I end every show. Well, actually, first before I go there, for anyone who's watching this or will watch this back, where can they find you and your music?
So I'm on all DSPs, Kellz Turner, KELLZ space TURNER, um, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Title. I don't use Title, but I should. Everything is Kellz Turner, KELLZ TURNER.
Okay, okay.
You might even find me on SoundCloud too.
Anywhere is anywhere, right?
Anywhere is anywhere.
So I end each show with a positive ending message.
Okay.
The opportunity for you to say something positive and uplifting to whoever's watching this, whoever may watch it back. The floor is yours.
Um, man, well, first off, like I just want to say like anything is possible. This year was a very like this year felt like a boxing match. Like it felt like I was fighting Tyson the whole time. And I mean that like non sarcastically. It was just like guarding up, you know, um, just guarding hits, man. Whether it be financially, whether it be career wise, whether it be health. I was just getting hit with so much shit. Um, but a couple things that I want people to remember is that one, you don't have to be a victim of your struggles. Um, you know what I mean. Don't let your struggles define you. Don't let that be your marquee per se.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let that be your marquee. Um, Two, you know, it's good to be determined. It's good to fight back. It's good to be like it's definitely good to fight back. Like you might be down, but you won't be down forever. I believe you said that at the beginning of this interview. Um, and last but not least, delay is not denial. I know, like I can tell you, like on the transparency, like Killer Volume One almost didn't come out, because I
Mm-hmm.
was going through like a setback. My studio my home studio, it went through a renovation, moving into a bigger space. Process took longer than it was, or what the process took longer than what I thought it was going to be. To the point where I just started like really questioning, like, damn, like why, when I'm prime and ready to do shit won't happen. But had to, pray about it for one, and then two, like really think about it. Like I didn't get kicked out the studio. they didn't tell me they don't fuck with me no more. It's just like, we moving into this bigger space, so we just got, So I think me being patient and me having faith that this project is gonna come out, like those were one of the things that kind of kept me going. Um, some like Killer Volume One was supposed to be we supposed to be doing this interview in like August. I mean, in like May, June.
Yeah,
But it's November. But that's okay. Um, Sometimes things aren't gonna go the way you plan, but you got to keep that plan intact.
right.
It's not a matter of when you do it; it's a matter of whether or not you did it. Um, so I say that to anybody. Like, it's cool to have a timeline. It's good to have a timeline. It's good to have like a deadline of when you want certain things to be done or to be accomplished. But if life gets in the way of that, don't throw that plan out. Like, keep it up. Just keep it intact. Um, like I said, Killer Volume One was supposed to be out in April, but it got released in October. But hey, it was it's out. And
Yeah,
if it happened, if I would have let my mind get the best of me, we wouldn't be here doing this interview.
absolutely not.
So
I appreciate you coming on here and chopping
thank
it up with me. Once I hit end, don't sign out yet. I want to talk to you about something backstage.
you. Okay.
I want to thank anyone who tuned in, anyone who's watching this back. Thank everyone for their support. You don't understand. This show is growing with a lot going on behind the scenes stuff I'm so excited about that I'm quarter one of 2025. I told people this year I was grabbing the brass ring. I did that. Now we're pulling it and we're going to elevate and levitate. Want to thank Kellz Turner for coming on, chopping it up with me. I will be back next week. I'll be here Monday for Nerd Camp Sports every Monday with Raj and R&B. Tuesday we got Big Veg coming on. Thursday we got Jag coming on. We got another big week of 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 uh, of Honest Hour, and Kellz Turner will be my next guest on the Music Corner. Well, I'll be announcing the date for that soon. So everyone take care and have a good night.